All right, everyone, so I'm trying this again. We'll see how this goes. Technical glitches here, but hopefully this will be a little better. Let me know if it is. I'm just trying to get that chat room working so you guys, oh, it says my connection is better now, so maybe that will enable the chat to work properly. Before it was not working properly, so that was obviously a problem, but now maybe this will be a little better. I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, it's saying my connection is better. A moment ago, my connection was, it was saying it was just okay or even poor. So I think that was just causing in general an issue with the entire chat and the stream and so on. So hopefully this will work a little better. Sometimes the actual chat part itself takes a while to show up. But if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So what I was talking about earlier was I went out sourcing today. That was after I finished on my morning routine. And in sourcing, I bought about 27 pair of jeans at one store, believe it or not. So this particular store I haven't been to source in probably 2 or 3 weeks. So they definitely have replenished and gotten a lot of cool things in there that, you know, I could really use. And a lot of jeans. I mean, it was jeans, almost all jeans. I think I bought one CD just because I went over there and checked it out. But the jeans will be great. I mean, they were a lot of ones that I hadn't found those brands in a little while, or at least not many of them. So I guess, you know, the moral of that story is make sure that you are always checking up on your old haunts where you'd like to source in the past, but maybe you just haven't had a chance to get to them lately because of whatever. I also went to a Lowe's and a Walmart. Funny little story in Walmart, and then I'll tell you about the Lowe's. The Lowe's was great, but funny little story in Walmart. I found a ink cartridge that had been marked down, and it had been marked down to $5. So I scanned it, and it looks like it was coming up about $22, $23 new, which is good. I mean, that's a good flip. So I went ahead and got it, and there was another one beside it that said it had also been marked down, but it had an older sticker from February saying that it was still like $22. It was the exact same cartridge, exact same. Check the UPC, check the model number, everything. So I took it up to the front. They scanned the first one, and they scanned the barcode. It came up $5. Now the barcode on the second one was covered, so you couldn't scan it without moving it. But they had a white. You know, Walmart does this. They have a white reduced label on it that has a barcode on that label. So when the cashier scanned that label, it came up 21, $22, and I said, well, the other one came up $5, and it's the exact same item, and it was marked $5 as well. The one that came up $5 was marked $5. It had the little yellow marked down sticker, but for whatever reason, they didn't put that on the other one. So she takes it up to her customer service lead, her manager. And she comes back after about a minute or so and says, well, if you want to buy this one, it's $22. Which is funny because if she had scanned the barcode on that one, it would have came up $5 just like the first one. So, you know, when you run into this as a reseller, you know, you kind of you're in this dilemma. Like, do I make a fuss about this? And I was in the express lane because I only had those 2 items. People had already had to wait a little bit. I'd already had to wait a little bit. I had somewhere else I was getting ready to go. I was getting ready to go to my next stop sourcing. So rather than make a big stink about it, I just decided to go up to go on about my business and leave the cartridge there. You know, I probably could have gone and complained and maybe gotten it for $5, but I just decided it really wasn't worth, you know, the extra effort at this point to do that. And so I just went ahead and I just had it out of the store, you know, and I don't know if that was the right decision or not, but I looked at it like I had other places to go, and I'm going to spend some time arguing with this manager probably about what it should be. And so you have to kind of do, for me, I have to do this cost benefit analysis in my head and say, well, it's going to cost me time to perhaps get this additional, markdown. And granted, from going from $22 to $5 is a big jump. And should it have been $5? Yeah, it should have. She scans the barcode on the second one. It's going to come up $5 because that's what it should be. But I decided that since I had other places to go where I knew I was going to find lots of items, I was actually getting ready at Goodwill where I bought 27 pair of jeans. Although I didn't know I was going to get 27 pair. I knew that, I was running the risk of spending a lot of time for little bang for my buck. And they still may say no. It's their store. It's their policies. They can make them up. Technically, it didn't have a $5 sticker on it, even though by the barcode, the manufacturer's barcode, it would come up $5 if she had scanned it that way. So, I guess the moral of the story is when you get faced with these sorts of situations, just make a decision based on will you be able to, get enough money out of possibly winning the case versus you move on to the next location and, you're going to find more items there. You're going to be able to maximize your profit somewhere else. I don't know, but for me, I just decided to head out. Gave him the box, gave him the toner back. I bought the one, so it wasn't totally a wasted trip. And the Lowe's that I was at right beside of it had lots of lighting on sale. I love Lowe's lighting. Lowe's lighting, when it gets marked down, Lowe's home improvement store, when it gets marked down, there's some great deals you can find there. And often the items, these are Amazon FBA items, and they're sometimes bigger boxes and they're a little bit heavier and they're going to cost more money. Make no mistake about it. You're going to spend some money to buy these items, but you're going to make a higher dollar amount than you would with, say, obviously a pair of jeans. A lot of times my profit on lighting at Lowe's can be 30, 40, 50 bucks an item. So that's equal to several pair of jeans. So I definitely spend some time always in the Lowe's lighting section. And a lot of times when I send this lighting in, Lowe's stores don't mark things down uniformly. So this store may have it marked down, but this one doesn't. So, going chain wide, it's kind of tricky. And sometimes you'll find something totally different one store versus the other. But I have found that a lot of this lighting is often no longer available on Amazon because it's already sold through because there weren't a lot, or it's not many people on the listing. I mean, you don't usually buy lighting that you send into Amazon and see 50 sellers. I mean, I suppose it's possible, and there probably are some lighting kits and so on, fixtures that may have 50 sellers on Amazon, but I would say that is the exception to the rule. Most of the time, it's less than 10 sellers. So if you've got some sales rank, if you've got some data in Camel, for instance, that says, this particular lighting kit or this particular lighting fixture sells 3 every, I don't know, 3 months maybe, so basically 1 a month, and there's only 2 sellers on it, you got a 1 in 3 chance of selling it within the next 30 days. That's pretty good odds. I mean, I'll take those. I'll take that chance. Whereas, when you buy electronic items and things like that, then you're often going to see, an item with 50 sellers on it, 100 sellers, 200 sellers. And yeah, it's going to get a lot of velocity. There's going to be a lot of units moving, but just by sheer chance, there's a lot more people on it. So if you're not keeping up on your repricing with your Amazon items, you're not likely to move that item because the price, if there's an item on Amazon, there's 200 people on the ASIN, there's 200 people on the listing, then chances are that price is going to fluctuate quite a bit, and it's usually going to slowly tick down because people have repricers. At least some of those 200 sellers have repricers, and they're going to consistently be under you, and you're going to be consistently at a disadvantage if you're not going in repricing your items too. And, repricers are something we haven't talked too much about, but I do plan on doing a video on the repricer I have and some of the features and so on. Just going to take me a little bit of time to put together. But Lowe's turned out to be great. Walmart, not so great. Goodwill was amazing. 27 pair of jeans I found. My girlfriend actually met me there on her lunch break. She's so sweet. But she met and she helped me source those. So we got through that store in like 20 minutes, maybe. Doesn't take long. You know, I kind of know what I'm looking for, what brands to buy, sizes, fits, and what have you. So we just powered through it like it was no big deal. And I don't know. I mean, it didn't. It really didn't feel like it even took that long, honestly. But we just really went through it quickly. So I was pretty happy about that. You know, 27 pair of jeans. Granted, I'm selling jeans for a cheaper price right now in the summer than I am, you know, during the winter. But that's still probably 200. Yeah, probably $200 a profit on those 27 pair of jeans, I would guess, somewhere in that neighborhood. Some are going to sell for a little more than others, so they're going to be great. Others are going to be a little less, but you know, I can't complain about that. I mean, that's a good find that quickly. You know, the low stuff that I found today was also probably pushing $200 a profit once it all sells. I mean, you know, it was great. Just a good day sourcing. And honestly, guys, you know, this is where this is where you really maximize your time. I hit stores that were close to each other. The Goodwill and the Lowe's and the Walmart, not Target, the Walmart. The Walmart and the Lowe's were very close to one another. I hit the Lowe's and literally drove one parking lot over to the Walmart. So, you know, no drive time there. So when you start mapping out your route in whatever area you live in, you know, you want to be able to hit multiple stores very quickly because that makes you more efficient. You're able to source a lot faster. If you're able to source faster, you can bring those items home, get them listed quicker, get them photo quicker, you know, send in quicker, whatever you're doing, Amazon, FBA, whatever your e-commerce platforms are. And that should be, you know, that's possible. I know some of you guys will say, well, I've got to drive 20 miles to the nearest town. Okay, that's fine. But figure out a route within that town and say, I'm going to hit, you know, these 6 stores. I mean, I kind of went on, it was a short sourcing run, honestly. And the only reason was because I had some other things I had to get done this morning. I had some things I wanted to get done this afternoon. I wanted to have a little live stream with you guys. So, you know, just plan your route and don't let your, don't let the space in between stores really affect you. It won't, it shouldn't affect you as much as you think it will. I live in an area that has a lot of stores. I mean, I have a lot of inventory out there between retail arbitrage, between thrift stores, between estate sales, yard sales, big populations. There's a lot of areas. But I'm going to tell you, it is a spread out area. It is spread out. So I have to watch my drive time because in the morning, there's a big rush hour that occurs for a good hour and a half to 2 hours. And depending on where you're going and what streets you're on and what part of town you need to get to, you can easily get caught up in that. And then there's another 2-hour rush home at, you know, 5 o'clock, 5-ish or so. And if you get caught out in either of those 2 times on multiple major, you know, interstates and roadways in this city, your drive time, you could add 25, 50, even 100% to it in some cases. I mean, it's bad. But you know, you just plan around that. You just figure out ways to kind of get around that, and you figure out ways to make your drive time better, your drive time more efficient. You know, and I think that's always good, no matter what you're doing in terms of you know, sourcing. You've always got to plan your route, even if it's a weekend day and there won't be as many cars maybe on the road. Excuse me. I'm going to see if I can figure out why this stupid chat room is not coming up. I really wanted the chat room to get up here. Oh, it looks like I have to initiate the Hangout on the Air from YouTube Live. If you started from Google Plus, you cannot enable the live chat. Well, isn't that convenient? That's really weird. From within the game, and make sure the chat selected from the icons at the bottom of your video preview area in the G Plus event page. Make sure it's, yeah, it doesn't say anything. Yeah, this is really annoying. So it looks like, wow, you gotta love YouTube and Google. I mean, Google owns YouTube, and yet this is saying that when you start a Hangout on air from Google, you cannot chat in the YouTube chat room, which is odd because when I do my Monday night show, I actually, maybe it's because it's a scheduled event in YouTube, I don't know, and maybe that's why it works correctly. But it really stinks that I don't have a chat room under here. I guess, guys, leave a comment if you want, you know, and I'll try to comment back. I mean, I don't know what else to do to have a little chat going here. When I do the next one, I guess I'll know better. And I'll start it from YouTube because it seems like that's just the way it has to happen. But if you have a question, leave it in the comments below. I'll watch and I'll grab it, see what I can do. A couple other things today. I did get a new, this looks really funny. I did get a new microphone. This is like the windshield that comes on it. So this little mic goes on the iPhone. The only thing that stinks about it, it's a shotgun mic, so you can see it you know, it goes straight ahead. The only thing that stinks about it is that I have to take off my OtterBox to put it on, completely off, to really get it to seat properly. But it does look like, just testing it last night, it gives me a much better volume. It picks up better. It's also more direct. It doesn't bring in the outside sound. So when I start, you know, doing other videos, look for a little bit better sound quality, at least going forward from iPhone videos and so on. Eventually, I'll probably have a completely different camera, but for now, it's the iPhone. So I'm excited about this. Cost about 60 bucks. It also comes with this windshield that looks like a, I don't know what the hell this looks like. I mean, it's just it looks like a, I don't know. But this is supposed to prevent the wind from making any noise, you know, or not picking up the wind when you're outside. So if it's windy outside, I'll have that. So that's an improvement. What else? We talked about sourcing. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. So be sure, guys, and this is just kind of a mindset thing. I've started really, I hesitate to say this, but in some ways, but I've started really making sure that every day I am listening to something, someone that is a guru, if you will, someone who is a little further down the pipeline than I am in terms of mindset and reselling and entrepreneurship and all these things, and using that every day to give myself new ideas and new concepts that I can use in my business. And I think this is critical, guys, because here's the problem, and this, I fall into this trap too. You get up every day and you think, okay, well, I'm going to get up today, I'm going to process my shipments, I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to print off my shipping labels, stick them on packages, and then send all these things off. And then I'm going to list some things, and later I'm going to go buy some things, and then tomorrow I'm going to do it all over again. That is a big part of reselling. Don't get me wrong. But if you're not careful, you're going to end up not having a business so much as you're going to have a job. You just bought yourself a job. And it's going to become one of these, well, I get up every day and I put in my hours and I get my money back. But the problem with that is first of all, it's going to vary. There's going to be times you're going to do that and your sales are going to stink. There's going to be times you're going to do that and your sales are going to blow up. But it's very variable. The second part that's wrong with, or that's the problem I see with that approach, is that you will end up only having a job that's masquerading as a business, but it's really just a job. And the reality is, I don't know where you guys are at, and I've got some changes coming down the pike, so maybe we can start, we're going to decipher some of these things, that what our mindsets are as resellers, and I hope you guys will tune in for all that. But you have some sort of goal. You're doing this for some sort of reason, right? I don't know what your reasons are. I have my reasons. You have your reasons. But if you're not working towards achieving those goals, whatever they are, if your processes that you have in place aren't in line with whatever your goals are, then it's pretty much impossible to reach those goals. So you have to have the processes in place to do it. And part of the process is evolving. Part of the process is learning new things. Part of the process is being exposed to new ideas and concepts. And even if you reject those, you still learn something. I mean, we learn probably more from what we reject than what we accept and incorporate into our business. I know I do. I mean, I'll listen to podcasts. I'll listen to other YouTubers, not so much resellers, but people who are kind of doing things outside of that box, outside of that space. Because it's not that I've mastered reselling, don't get me wrong. There is no mastering reselling. I mean, no one has mastered reselling. There is no such thing. That's part of the point. If you've mastered it, then you have missed something along the way. You've missed that you don't know everything. But there's other concepts you can incorporate into it. Being able to think outside of the reseller box. And you can't do those things unless you expose yourself to them. And I know it probably seems like a waste of time. There's tricks around that. Have things playing in the background, not just haul videos where people tell you about all the cool doodads they found and how much they sold them for. I mean, those are cool, and I've watched plenty of them, and they are interesting. But those aren't really going to teach you that much. They're just going to show you that somebody found something great, and if you happen to stumble across it one day, awesome, but a lot of times you're not going to. I look at YouTube videos, podcasts, webcasts, whatever. I want to learn something from them. I want to learn how to really, better myself, better my business. And if you're not learning that, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you're just not going to get very far in this business. You have to constantly be trying to evolve, constantly expanding your horizons, constantly, making sure that your mind is set on learning. So anyway, but that's just kind of some thoughts I've had for the day. Hang on one second. It looks like there's a comment waiting review here. It's a tribble. Yeah, it is. Somebody else said that. Yeah, it is kind of a tribble. If you know what a tribble is, leave me a comment and what it's from. All right, you two can answer, Karin and Yvonne. But the rest of you can answer. If you know what a tribble is and where that comes from, no fear of Googling. But, it's important to constantly be evolving and always be, trying to learn something and trying to become a better reseller, because you're going to find that if you don't have passion around this business, and if you're just sitting there every day treating it like a job, your passion is likely to die. Money doesn't, I heard this earlier today, I can't remember whose video I was watching or podcast I was listening to, but money doesn't give you passion. Becoming wealthy doesn't bring you passion even. It really doesn't. You take money and use it to do things that you are passionate about. And money can give you time in a weird way, because I know we said we can't buy time, but it can free you up from having to go make more money if you have money, right? you've got enough that you don't need to, say, ever work again. Now you've got time to go be involved in the things you want to be involved in that had nothing to do with making that money. But money is just a result of your passions. Money is a result of your efforts, your processes. It's not really a goal in and of itself. If you make it a goal, then you're going to end up doing things probably that you don't want to do in this business. And the reality is you only have so much time. We've been talking about that a lot lately. You only have so much time, and you got to take that time and apply it in areas that will make you more and more successful. And if you're successful, the money will follow. Money follows success. It's not the other way around. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get too preachy here, but, chew on that. Think about what that looks like. Yes, she texted me there was static. Sorry if there's static, guys. It is what it is. So, I can't really do too much about it. It's the stream. It's the bit rate, as it's saying. But in any case, hopefully when the playback of the video happens, it won't be there. Probably not, because this is getting recorded. So if you watch it later after it's recorded, hopefully there won't be any static. This is the first time I've done one of these, so honestly, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, how it's going to work. We'll see. But I just want you guys to just constantly be thinking about what else can I do to become a better reseller? What else can I do to keep this from being like a job? And just basically, how can you make sure that you're passionate about what you're doing here? How can you make sure you're passionate? Because I remember this from my retail days when we would ask people why they would leave the company. Money was not the number one answer. It was because they didn't feel appreciated by the company, the employer, their boss, whoever. And when you started diving deeper into what that looked like, it was because these people were putting in time and energy and effort into working there, and they weren't feeling like it was appreciated. Now, that appreciation can come in different ways. In some ways, it's money, but it's not really money. I mean, people sign up for a job, and they know what it pays. So if they're surprised when their paycheck is X number of dollars when they sign up to work for X number of dollars, that's kind of on them. But they have to feel like they're valued. They have to feel like what they're doing matters to someone. Their coworkers, to the customers, to their boss, whomever. They have to feel that way. And if they don't, they'll just view it as drudgery. And that's an easy mindset to fall into with this business. If you just get up and say, I'm just going to do 10 listings because that's what I do every day. I list 10 things every day, or I list 20 things every day, or whatever it is. I'm going to go buy 10 or 20 things because that's just what I do. Like, there's no real rationale behind that. If, on the other hand, you have a goal where you say, I want to get my business up to a certain number of listings because I have a goal of being more successful to the point where I can pay all my bills with this business. Okay? So that takes a certain amount of dollars, and you realize a certain amount of dollars, a certain amount of listings, because you're going to sell a certain amount for a certain amount of money, and so on and so on. Like, you're aiming towards something because you know if you can pay your bills with this business, here's the backside goal, you will now have financial freedom that you did not have before. That's what it is for me. It's about being financially free. And to me, the first step to that financial freedom starts with, you got to be able to pay your bills. Because that's what you need. That's what you set out as a reasonable amount to live on. You need X number of dollars every month. And to do that, I've got to have that same amount of dollars coming in from my business. Well, how do I do that? And then I start looking at, well, how do I have financial freedom and still build my business? Because I like to have not only the financial freedom, but I'd also have to have some financial success. Why do I want the success? What's my goal? To be able to spend more time on the things and people that I love and care about. I mean, it's just that simple. And I can't do that if I've got to put every waking hour into just scraping by with this business. So I'm looking at it as, I've got this goal up here of, I want to spend time with people I want to be more involved with my family and other activities. But the only way I can do that is my business affords me enough money to where I don't need to work in it every second, or I can outsource parts of it, or I can have parts of it being passive income. All these different ways that I don't have to keep trading my time for money in the business. I mean, could I work 60, 70, 80 hours a week and make and probably achieve a higher financial success in this business? Of course I could. And you could too. But who wants to do that? I mean, that's not a goal. I mean, that's just working to make more money. But if you're so exhausted or you spend so much time to do it, what's it good for? You don't, when you're off or you feel like you have time off, you are tired, or you feel like you feel guilty about spending that time, on something other than business. I mean, that's no good. So you got to find some sort of balance there, but it starts with like a goal of what you want your business to accomplish in your life. And to do that, you're going to, like there's an overall goal, and then there's a strategy, and then within the strategy, there's tactics to get there. And the tactics are things like, I've got to list X number of items every day, because I had this strategy of building my business to a point where it's going to generate Y number of dollars. And that strategy is going to allow my goal of having financial freedom outside of my business. Once I can get enough of it on autopilot, autopilot's probably not the right word. Once I can get enough of it on a system where I can do it without spending so much time, then I can take that time and spend it on my true goals and passions, which are family, friends, extra activities, whatever it is. I have no particular reason to want to spend every waking hour on this business. And I bet you guys don't either. So don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't spend every waking hour on it. You have to think about, well, how do I go in and, make this business so I can achieve my goals? That's, to me, is what it is. It's about achieving your goals. Whatever they need to be. And your goals, like we said earlier, not the same as mine. That's okay. No problem with that. So anyway, it says, Yvonne here says, that's kind of why I took the nickname Flipping Easy. I refuse to ruin my entrepreneurship by being too strict of a boss myself. Great point, Yvonne. I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, and what's strict for you might be lax for someone else, and vice versa. But you have, you've decided to have a certain comfort with it that enables you not to beat yourself up about it. Because if you want to get beat up, go get a job where you're not appreciated. They'll beat you up every day. You'll get a paycheck, you'll get benefits, maybe, and all those good things, but what's your mental health worth? What's your emotional state worth? I mean, that's worth something too, right? I mean, we're not robots. You can't just sit there and just be ignored and criticized and taken advantage of and never congratulated, never complimented, and just expect to come out of that situation every day with, peace of mind, or, with without going crazy. So that's what's great about being in business for yourself. You can make all the decisions, and you don't have to beat yourself up, as long as you keep in mind what your goals are. So learn. Take advantage of the resources that are out there. There's tons of them, tons of great resources to learn more about this business or more about the entrepreneur mindset. And, try to learn every day. And I bet you'll see that after a while, it'll just become a habit, and you won't even think about it. And people will just, you'll just do it. You'll just say, oh, time to throw on a podcast. Oh, time to watch this video. And, and I highly recommend too, when you're doing it, take some notes. Write it down. I'm old school. I like to write it down, because I think when you write down notes, it reinforces in your brain, and you learn it. You learn it better than if you just hear it, because we all learn a little differently. So now you're getting it two ways. You're getting it, audible, and you're writing it down, visual of it too. But take some notes and, look back at them after the broadcast or video is done and say, all right, what can I take from this? This seems important. Maybe I need to readjust my goals and so on. Anyway, I didn't mean to go on a huge soapbox, but you guys know how I am. You watch my videos. But so I think I'm going to probably cut it off there. We've been broadcasting now for about 30 30 minutes or so, which I had no idea it was going to go that long. But the next broadcast, I will definitely try to do it through YouTube so that you guys will be able to see it or be able to chat. I do apologize for that. But in any case, this is kind of like a vlog, and maybe you can get something out of it. And I hope you guys are having a great day out there. I hope your sales are awesome. I did want to mention one quick sale before I went. I sold a projector on Amazon that I bought at a yard sale. Now, it was brand new. It was still in the package. It wasn't in a box. It was just in a case. It had been discontinued, maybe, a little bit older one. But when it was new, it sold for quite a bit of money. But I didn't really know all that when I bought it because I wasn't sure exactly. I didn't have good sales data on it. I wasn't getting a great signal at this yard sale. But the guy, he asked me, if you want to buy it, it's new. He told me, if you want to buy it, it's new. And I'm like, well, what were you thinking on it? He goes, $20. And I went, I literally thought he was going to say 100. And I probably would have paid 100 for it. Honestly, it was a nice projector. But I bought it for $20. And today, it sold for $305. Nice flip. The moral of the story is, trust your intuition. When you see new things like that, even if it's older technology, I think this projector maybe was new about 7 or 8 years ago, but there's still a market for things. Some people latch on to certain models and certain editions, and they just want it. And when they see it come back up, they're like, boom. I was the only listing, so I set the price on it. I think I had a price a little higher when I started. Maybe my repricer knocked it down just a little bit, but man, $305 on a $20 sale. $20 cost. I mean, that's great. That is great return on investment. So I'm really happy about that. But the moral of the story is just trust yourself. Trust yourself even in the absence of other information. You're going to screw up occasionally, make a mistake, make a bad buy. But what would I really been out? $20? I figured if I got 100 out of it, I'm way ahead. And to get 300 out was nice. So anyway. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Again, apologies for the chat. I'll see if I can get that fixed the next one we do. And also be looking. I'm going to post an event upcoming for Monday night. I have Ronnie Hart, aka Hearts Picker, and Ronnie is, I'd say he's my mentor when it comes to clothing. I mean, I don't think there's a better word. I love Steve Braken, and I watched a lot of his videos, but I didn't have I have some personal interaction with Steve Braken, but I've had a lot more with Ronnie. And Ronnie's been awesome, and he's a great guy. He's just no nonsense about it. He's got his head on straight. He's been doing this for several years, and he sells big volume on eBay. He doesn't sell jeans. He sells higher end stuff, but man, he's just got a wealth of knowledge. You guys are going to love him. So Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be live with Ronnie Hart. And he is also a member of the Reseller Society. He also has a YouTube channel, which I'll post a link to that when I post the upcoming event. So be sure you check out his YouTube channel. And, really looking forward to that interview and chat on Monday night. So it'll be kind of the same format we did with Tanya. You guys will be able to ask questions and interact with Ronnie, and I hope I see all you guys there. All right, guys, so I think that's going to do it for the live stream. This is Prof Sales saying to you guys, hey, good sales to you.